Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new here. I'm Kaylee, I'm a designer and content creator based in New York, and today we are doing another interior design focused video. We're going to be talking about things that I think you should stop buying for your home and what you should do instead. And as always, I feel like I have to do a little bit of a disclaimer. These are just my personal opinions. You should do whatever you want in your space, and I'm very pro that. The first thing I want to talk about is reworking pieces in your home. You really don't have to always buy something new. Much like the fast fashion industry, the fast home industry creates a huge amount of waste, and older pieces are often better quality anyways. I have a stat here that says interior design generates 10.5 million tons of waste a year in the US alone, and a major waste culprit in the design world is fast furniture. Cheap, low quality, very trend focused pieces that might fall apart in a couple years. And the problem with trying to recycle or rework these pieces is that they're usually made of a mishmash of materials that can't really be broken apart and recycled. Most of those affordable furnishings end up in the landfill after a very short life, and that's something that we try to prevent on this channel. But I also really love to offer affordable options. I think you can have a beautiful and sustainable home without breaking the bank. So I wanted to share some fun reworking options with you guys. Probably heard of reupholstering. This is something that I've done in the past. It can be expensive, and I would suggest, if it's a more complicated piece, going to a professional, and also ensuring that you're choosing a high quality fabric that is made for the purpose. So looking at performance fabrics or interior upholsteries if you're going shopping at a local fabric store. If you live in a major city, there's also a lot of fabric recycling hubs and fabric secondhand stores you could check out. Here's an example of a chair that I reupholstered, and I think it gave it an entire new life. I also had the wood refinished, which made it look even better. If you have an old family chair that's pretty worn, or you pick something up for free off the street or for really cheap at a thrift store, reupholstering can be a great way to bring new life into a piece. Refinishing wood pieces is something that you can do DIY. Even buying something like an orange oil is really affordable and can get out water stains in wood and just make your piece look new again. And that's the really great thing about investing in wood pieces, is that you can refinish them again and again. You can get some wood filler if you have any chips in your piece. There are so many videos on YouTube and TikTok, and it's really not that expensive to buy the supplies to do the project. Swapping hardware is a great option. If you're in the US, I love Habitat for Humanity's Restore locations. They have a lot of construction materials and things like hardware for a really reduced price, even paint. I would definitely check it out. Also, paint your pieces. I don't love painting furniture pieces, but I feel like it often looks cheap unless you're a very good painter. I've done some things like paint lamps to make them more in my color scheme. If you're gonna do something like that, I would suggest taking it apart so you can really get in all the crevices with a paint sprayer. A totally free thing that you can do is rearrange furniture. I have loved doing this since I was a kid. You can either rearrange things within a room, or if you have a slightly bigger home with multiple rooms, you can move things around rooms, and it can just give you a really fresh feel. And it's something I always suggest doing before buying something new, just to make sure that you're making a well-informed decision. And sometimes when we shop, we're really just looking for a dopamine hit, and doing things like rearranging can do that for us, or embarking on a small project. Another good resource that I haven't actually tried myself, but I've heard very good things about, is a store called Bims. Maybe you guys have seen it, but they make slipcovers for IKEA sofas, and I believe they can make them to custom measurements. So if you have an old IKEA sofa, or you're looking for a new sofa but maybe you don't like the fabrics on IKEA and you want something affordable, Bims has so many beautiful cover options. So you could also find an IKEA sofa on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and create yourself a really unique piece. And speaking of shopping on a budget, I want to introduce you guys to the sponsor of this video, MyLoot. MyLoot is a platform that offers you cash back on everyday purchases, giving you savings on items that you're already buying. It's truly so simple to use, and they're partnered with over 7,000 stores. Bims, the store that I just mentioned for the sofa covers, is included in that list. But some other home favorites include Home Depot, Samsung, Dyson, and smaller decor stores like Gantry Lighting and Pattern Brands. Pattern Brands makes these really cool double walled glasses that I love for my iced coffee. There's also fashion stores like Farfetch, travel sites like Expedia. They have so many stores to choose from. All you have to do is sign up and make a purchase from one of the partnered stores, and then you can start earning cash back on everything from groceries taste, fashion to home purchases. And we love finding a good deal or saving money when we're shopping around here. If you want to give it a go yourself, I'll have a link in the description box below for you to sign up and you can start saving instantly. And thank you so much to MyLoot for partnering with me on this video. And now I want to talk a bit about the importance of finding your style, because I think this is where we mess up a lot when we are decorating our home. A lot of us move into our first homes when we're still finding our personal style, which is so fine. But something I've found so helpful for me personally is building a home slowly. You don't want to give into trends if you don't expect them to be authentic to you later. I feel like if you're on this channel, a lot of us have a big love for aesthetics. And another huge piece of advice that I have that's truly changed my home, I've really had to work to get my partner on board with this, I will say, is don't walk into a store and just buy one of the first things that you see. I feel like a lot of us probably don't do that for bigger home purchases, but maybe for small household appliances or tools we do. And listen, I know sometimes you need things in a pinch, but there truly is a beautiful version of everything for your home, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be more expensive. And if it's not necessarily a cool, beautiful version, there's probably a clean version of something. For things like toilet brushes, trash cans, silverware, appliances, the list goes on and on. But I think these small things are truly what make for an interesting home, and you can really showcase your personal style in everything that you own and collect. I think it's really important to view all of the objects in your possession more as collecting than just buying something to have it. I'm gonna plug my new Substack really quick. I've recently migrated my newsletter over to Substack. It's a lot easier to find things on there. And I love all of the different tools they have for connecting with you guys. I'm still sort of figuring it all out, but I've been doing various different sourcing posts for both fashion and interiors on there. I'm gonna have a post with all of my favorite budget home finds. I also do $1 auction finds. Most content is free, more specialized and business related content is behind an affordable paywall and just helps me continue to create the content that I do. But I wanted to share that with you guys really quickly because sourcing and finding cool items is truly one of my favorite things to do. I will also say that thrift stores can be great for a lot of basics. I just think you have to be careful that you're not walking into a thrift store and just buying something because it's cheap. I definitely used to be guilty of that when I was younger. Like something would be almost there and really affordable, so I would just go ahead and grab it, and I feel like that started to make for a lot of junk in my home. But things like photo frames, serveware, glassware, you can often find things in their full sets at thrift stores, so I would definitely recommend checking that out. A lot of stainless steel serveware is becoming very popular, and I find that you can find some really good gems at your local Goodwill or Salvation Army. And with sourcing, I also want to mention that I don't think you should give in to playing it safe, at least not too much. I think it's really cool to showcase your personal style with a big item. So maybe going bolder with a sofa or rug, if you can afford to, can make a really big difference and really be something that you showcase in your space. For something that's a bit more affordable that can really impact and inject personality in a space, I would suggest a duvet cover. You don't have to just do a simple white one unless you want to. Comfort and function are truly key. I think that's something a lot of us realize as we get a little bit older, especially with bigger furniture items like sofas or beds. And from a sustainability standpoint, if you want something to be long lasting, it needs to be comfortable or you're going to want to get rid of it. It also probably needs to be easy to clean if it's in a high traffic area. Maybe if you have pets or children, you need performance fabrics on your larger furniture pieces. I'll give you a quick example. I have this huge Nordic Knots shag rug in my bedroom because I really wanted something high pile and cozy for the space. But unfortunately, it was incredibly expensive and it's also very difficult to maintain. I have to vacuum every single day, and of course, I got the charcoal color so it looks like little dust bunnies are everywhere in my space if I'm not a little crazy with my upkeep. And those kinds of things drive me a little insane. I feel like I'm not productive if I'm not in a clean space, and I work from home, so that doesn't help. For a similar option that's not a shag but still a bit higher pile, I love Nordic Knots Grand Rug or the Arvin Alano Rugs USA collab, which is honestly just as good and half the price. I own one of those myself. Another example that's a little bit personal to me is dark colored furniture if you have pets. I have two amber rust-colored dogs and they do shed, so I've kind of started designing my home around them. It is a color that I already liked, but I've had to give up on some of my black pieces because seeing their light little fur over everything, it's just not a good look. One thing I'm still obsessed with is my smoked glass coffee table, but I do have to dust off their dog hair every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And then one last example I have is open storage, especially for things like glassware. It can look really pretty, but when you think about it, if you're hosting people, do you really want to like wash off a glass before you hand it to them every time? If you live in an older home, maybe it collects more dust. Maybe your home's just always clean and not like mine. But I love the look of open storage, but I just don't think it's that functional, at least for pieces that are regularly used. A specific thing that I have on my do not buy list is jute rugs. This is something that I have fallen victim to before. I'm staring at one right now that I'm actually dying to ditch. And I'm not a big throw out girl. I very rarely do that, but I think this one is gonna have to go in the trash. Talking about my dogs again, I have a younger puppy and we've been potty training her. She's peed on that rug quite a few times, and jute rugs, I don't know why they have this reputation for being just a good option. I know they're incredibly affordable, which is why I have this one, but they hold water and stains like no other. They're also not even comfortable, so just stay away if you can. Platforms like Revival and Rugs USA have a lot of great affordable rug options that are high quality, so if you're looking for something under $1,000, even under $500, I would suggest looking there. And make sure you're getting a rug big enough for your space as well. No little rugs in front of a couch with just a coffee table on top, if you can. A good thing about Revival rugs is they also offer one-of-a-kind rugs and vintage rugs. I have a 15% off discount code that's ongoing with them. If you guys want to purchase anything, I'll have my link below. Only a couple things left. I have high maintenance stone in a kitchen or bathroom. I think this is just a bad idea. So much stone is really beautiful, but if you like to host, if you like to cook, if you like to just relax in your space and not worry about someone ruining something or yourself ruining something, if you're a klutz, I would just stay away from it. There's no need to stress yourself out. And then the last thing I have is cool light bulbs. I can't believe people put these in their home. I love the Hue lighting system. It's a little bit more expensive. I believe there's some dupes available that are maybe a little bit more affordable, but basically you control your lighting from an app on your phone and you can totally adjust the temperature and color of your lighting. I love a warm, cozy, slightly dimmed light, and it's just so important for relaxing, having some lamps in your space. If you have an overhead light, making sure it's a warm light. I think I've talked about that a lot on here, so I'd probably beat it into your guys' head. But that's all I have for this video. I would love to hear in the comments below what you guys think people should stop buying, or if you actually like any of these things that I spoke about. I would love to hear from you too. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're having a great week. I'm gonna have some other interior design focused videos linked below, as well as my Substack for sourcing, and I will see you guys super soon. Bye!